Welcome to the teachings of today's Holy Mass with Reverend Father Alphonsus. Be blessed by the love of Christ, who seeks the elevation of all his children through his word.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. At that time, when Jesus had cast out a demon, some of the people said, "He casts out demons by Beelzebul, the prince of demons," while others, to test him, sought from him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their hearts, said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and house falls upon house. And if Satan is also divided against himself, how will his kingdom stand? For you say that I cast out demons by Beelzebul? And if I cast out demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if it is by the finger of God that I cast out demons, then the kingdom of God has come upon you. When a strong man, fully armed, guards his own palace, his goods are in peace. But when one stronger than he assails him and overcomes him, he takes away his armor in which he trusted and divides his spoils. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters." When the unclean spirit had gone out of the man, he passed through waterless waste, seeking rest, and finding none, he says, "I will return to my house from which I came." And when he comes, he finds it swept and put in order. Then he goes and brings 7 other spirits more evil than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that man becomes worse than his first. The Gospel of the Lord. Glory to Jesus. There was a certain time that I, even as a priest, had to ask myself, this church now every day, we just do the same thing every day. We just do the same thing every day. I asked the question, I couldn't give a successful answer. But you know what? The moment evil strikes us, at that moment we want to stay under the canopy of God 24/7. Have we ever had to ask ourselves this question? What is the value of everyday church? All this effort, bonfire, every day. Let me tell you, that question does not come from you. Trust me. That question does not come from you. Do you know why it does not come from you? Because the same you cannot ask that question. Why do I keep breathing air every day? It is not even every day. Every second, in fact, nanoseconds inside a second, we are breathing air. Why don't we ask that question? How can somebody just be going to kitchen? Since I was born, I have been eating. Does this stomach not get tired? Is my mouth not tired of chewing? Why don't we ask that question? Every day, I keep eating. I mean, can't I just stay for a while without eating? Every day, I must eat. Why don't you ask the question? Don't you look like madmen going to work every day? Every day we go to work. The same giddy. In fact, we in Sapler Road, we are all mad. If you look at it, giddy from morning, you will not rest. Every day. How is it that one person has not said, I'm tired of this hold up, I'm tired of this congestion, let me just rest? Look, if we are not asking these questions, and then it now comes to spirituality, and we are asking that question, I am telling you now that it is not you that asks. The same demon that wants to make sure you are not in flames every second of the day is the one that helps ask. And the way it asks the question, it does not bring your mind to these other realities, for instance. Because if you are to ask this question, then you'd also better ask, all those other things you do every day, why do you do them? But you know the simple answer to this, my dear friends, the simple answer is this: You see, the principle of our lives is God himself. He breathed into us. Don't forget, the principle of my life is God. The fact that I live in this body and the fact that I have grown accustomed to the things that I see and that I feel are some of the reasons why we seem to forget this fact. If you notice, we are not conscious that we are breathing until we have pneumonia, until our nose blocks. That is when we now start having the consciousness of the breath that we breathe. The devil knows this carelessness and he explores it very tactfully. It is the life of God that runs you and I, not the life of the flesh. The flesh availeth nothing, it's the spirit that gives all. That's the reason why nobody should ask, I have been good all these years, let me just do one bad now. Behold, the devil will kill you that day you do that bad. And then you that have been good all these years will find yourself in hell. If it were possible to be frank with you, didn't you hear, as the psalmist says, one day within your house is better than 1,000 elsewhere. And so, if it were possible for us to just remain here and be praising, have you noticed in all revelations about heaven, we do not hear the time that they say they come and eat, or they come to come and drink. What happens there? The 24 elders, those are the ones that are thrones. They don't move. Thrones. A throne does not move. They are there worshiping. They are there worshiping. The truth is, we don't even understand the meaning of that procession of worship. Because we look on ourselves as flesh, is the reason why the devil can help us think this kind of thought. Look, your body is supposed to be a temple where the fire of worship is governed by your spirit. Every minute, every second of your breathing ought to be orchestrated by worship. Oh, I wish you can know what the soul really yearns for. Do you think it's a fried rice that your soul yearns for? You think it's a biscuit? You think it's the sweetest food? Have you not noticed a man can eat the best food on earth and still does not remove sorrow from his heart? Do we know the yearning of the soul? Because we don't understand. Do you know the reason why we play football? It is for the exercise of the body. The reason why we carry weight, bodybuilding, the reason why we go through all this madness of daily activities and events, because we are trying to just give the soul pleasure. Has it ever pleasurized the soul? The moment you finish one activity, you are hungry for the other. The moment you finish that, you are hungry for the other. Oh, no wonder St. Augustine says, our hearts are restless, O Lord, until they find their rest in you. You know what that means? Hi! A human being can stay 18 hours. Because we are not close to those realities, does not mean that the realities are not realities. The yearning of the soul. The day a sweet song enters your mind, have you not noticed that you don't want it to end? That's the nature of your soul. The day you go to a particular place where your body does not really feel any pleasure directly per se, but your soul is at peace, your soul is at rest, you don't want to leave that place. Have you ever been to a mountain? There is nothing, you are not eating. You feel so satisfied. You look at the sky. Your soul feels like wanting to remain there for all eternity. You don't know your soul. We don't know our spirit. And it's a deficiency. Because once that is known, then we would want to rest in the Lord forever. And so the question about why we go to church every day wouldn't even come in the first place. Because even you yourself will become church. Mobile tabernacle, mobile church, mobile praise van, continuously. That's what you become. When you are that, it means everywhere is church. Then where would that question come from? Asking every day church. When you read this gospel of today, you should be very much afraid that Jesus himself is telling you that even when a man has been exorcised of demons, the demons don't rest. So the reason why Jesus Christ told us this is that we are supposed to be temples that are burning in worship. Because the moment a demon is removed from a man, if a presence is not installed in that body, that's why many people, have you not noticed, you go to churches, people who have been falling in deliverance 5 years ago, they are still falling till tomorrow, they'll keep falling, because a presence has not been planted. They have not made the decision to plant an altar of worship inside of them. Because the moment that altar of worship is planted, that's the only time that the body can no longer be invaded. Because even after a deliverance, as Jesus Christ said, the demons go. When they come, they see that everywhere is clean. They go and bring 7 more demons, far much fiercer. Jesus knows the reason why he chose 7. Okay? And he says they come back. And the state of the man is worse than the other. My dear friends, the reason why we do church every day is to give people who don't have the opportunity to fire themselves to have that opportunity at least once a day. So you can see that church once a day is just a grace for many of us. Because many of us don't even have the opportunity to tap into the fire that's supposed to burn in us for weeks and for months. There are some people who may not have the opportunity to sigh to heaven and to be connected to where their life comes from. Our life force is not from the air that we breathe in. Our life force is from the spirit that God imputed into us, and that's God's spirit. That's the life form that sustains a human being. Take that spirit away, the body becomes numb. It availeth nothing. So this is why we church every single day. And again, when we look at the first reading of today, you hear that the prophet Joel is warning everybody should go into sackcloth. He is calling the priest from the altar. And yet we are relaxed as if we are not in emergency. Every day in our current state now is an emergency. An emergency. Because we don't know the day. It is so close by. Everything that Jesus Christ predicted will happen before the end time is already with us right now. Where the altar has become trade, where the symbols of holiness today, and the priests, the pastors, and the prophets, they now ply their trades through the land without any knowledge, themselves becoming the handbiggers of perversion. Where the people who are to be led do not seem to know they are left from right. Look, my dear friends, the time is now. Every single day is a call day. And let it be made known that the spirit world is not joking. The spirit world does not forgive, does not forget. Yes, forgiveness is only possible within the body. That's the reason why if a soul is destined for heaven, it can no longer go to hell. If a soul is destined for hell, no matter how much you sing the mercy of God, it can no longer be directed to heaven.
Please like, share, and if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and join us for daily reflections.